Last week, the US dollar faced heavy selling pressure and weakened across the border. However, on Friday, it slightly rebounded as investors closed most of their deals to lock in profits before the weekend. Perhaps this sentiment on the US currency persists until Christmas. Over the past week, the US dollar index, which measures the strength of the greenback against a basket of 6 major rivals, lost 0.93%, ending at 89.92, its lowest level since April 2018. Risk appetite is fueled by the prospect of new stimulus for the US economy and hopes for a vaccine-driven recovery. This is why demand for safe haven currencies is decreasing. US policymakers are close to agreeing on a $900 billion coronavirus relief package. Experts warn that this measure may lead to large budget and current account deficits. It will make the US dollar an increasingly less attractive asset. At the same time, the less dovish approach of the Fed did not spark demand for the US currency. It has kept the asset purchasing program in the amounts needed amid coronavirus pandemic. The regulator also updated its economic outlook for 2021. Nevertheless, it intends to keep the interest rate near zero until at least 2023. On the back of the US dollar's weakness, the euro managed to reach a 2.5-year high. It closed the week with an increase of 1.1% near the level of 122.57. It also gained momentum amid market optimism that London and Brussels would be able to resolve the differences on a post-Brexit trade deal. On Friday, the EU chief Brexit negotiator Michel Barnier said there was still a chance of a deal, but the path is very narrow. As for macroeconomic data, UK retail sales fell by 3.8% in November as demand declined due to a 4-week lockdown in England. Yet consumer morale improved significantly in December thanks to the start of mass vaccination across the country. The British currency finished the week with a rise of 1.45% to 1.3527. Bitcoin updated its new all-time high, surging to $24,000. Its rally continues as many large investors consider Bitcoin as a hedge asset against inflation and other risks. Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the best-selling finance book, has said that the US dollar is a scam and traders should buy Bitcoin. He has also invested in the virtual cryptocurrency, expecting it to advance to $50,000. Oil prices have been growing for the 7th week in a row. Last week, they increased by 4.38%, remaining above the level of $50 per barrel. The beginning of widespread vaccination raises hopes for a faster recovery in fuel demand. Oil prices were able to jump thanks to the data from the US EIA. According to the report, crude stockpiles rose more than expected. Besides, a weaker dollar made oil cheaper for buyers. However, the growing number of new coronavirus cases and traveling restrictions restrained bullish sentiment in the commodity market. Gold prices dropped by 0.3% to $1,885 an ounce on Friday, after 3 days of gains, as the recovery in the US dollar renewed hopes of the adoption of new stimulus measures in the US. Over the week, gold prices went up by 2.5%, notching a hike for the 3rd week in a row. You've watched the combined financial review on InstaTV with me, Anna Kasatkina. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to always keep track of all the latest events on financial markets together with us on InstaTV. Bye.